A Muslim would say, okay, this is the Quran, I believe Allah is the right God, I believe Islam is true, accept it, you don't accept it, you're not going to be saved, good night, good night. That's basically a Muslim. An Islamist will actually go the extra mile of kidnapping someone because they drank alcohol and whipping them because they believe that is the right thing to do.
Hey folks, this is the other Barak coming to you live and direct here from the Holy Land in Israel. Today we have a video about reforming Islam from an Imam, Imam Tawhidi. Let's take a listen to this video about spirituality on the Rubin Report and talk about it after.
We have sort of the ex-Muslims and the nominal Muslim, then the moderate that you say is not really a thing, actually. Then can you sort of explain Islamist and jihadist?
Okay.
And if there's anything else that I missed within that.
Islamist is an individual that believes in preaching and spreading and expanding Islam and the message of Islam through militant means. So they would spread Islam by the sword, and now the tactics are a bit different. Now it's getting through Congress. So before it was by the sword, now it's getting themselves into parliament and then making laws that act as the sword, the Islamophobia law in Canada, M103.
Yeah.
So an Islamist would silence you just to spread his agenda. That's different from a Muslim. A Muslim would say, okay, this is the Quran, I believe Allah is the right God, I believe Islam is true, accept it, you don't accept it, you're not going to be saved, good night, good night. That's basically a Muslim. An Islamist will actually go the extra mile of kidnapping someone because they drank alcohol and whipping them because they believe that is the right thing to do. We've seen across Europe, statues are being destroyed because it's not allowed in Islam. So that's an Islamist. An Islamist organization would be Hamas. Hamas is an Islamist organization that did terrorist doings. It's responsible for terrorist activities, so then it became a terrorist organization. But its ideology is an Islamist ideology. So two-state solution is not an option. They need to be eliminated because our message is the right one. That's an Islamist mentality. Now, the other person or the other group of people would be the fundamentalists. A fundamentalist Muslim wants to preserve the message of Prophet Muhammad and live like Muhammad the same way he lived. So if the reports say Muhammad had a short pants because his pants would stop to his ankle, they'd go to university, Harvard University, with their ankles sticking out.
Right.
So if there was no deodorant in Mecca, we're not going to use deodorant. If Muhammad never trimmed his beard with a blade, then we're not going to use a blade on ours. That's a fundamentalist. And these guys will always take the side of the Islamist rather than the moderate. And also moderate is just a politically created term. It's a political term to differentiate.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't believe there's moderate. You're either Muslim or you're not, and then there are levels in faith as to how deep you are and how much into the religion you are.
I'm really curious to know what all of you think about this. Do you agree? Like, do you agree that there's no such thing as moderates? Do you agree that you're either a Muslim or you're not? You know, one of the really cool things about Judaism, and I think in my opinion, one of the most beautiful things about Judaism is the search and to have a continuous seek for more curiosity, more knowledge, and to encourage challenge, encourage thought, encourage debate. We have now different denominations within Judaism. It's not just Orthodox or not. It's not just you are an Orthodox Jew or you are not a Jew. We've seen Judaism and the evolution of Judaism over many, many, many years turn into people who can essentially build what their Judaism is. Some people like to cook on Saturday, the day of rest. Some people don't like to cook. Some people do use electricity and cars and write things and do manual labor. Some do not. Some people put cheese on their burger. Some people do not. Some people eat kosher. Some people don't. And you can even have your own way, your own reform of how you want to do this, reform Judaism. And so I'm wondering what all of you think about this when it comes to Islam, because with this Imam, he's making the claim that it's basically you're either Muslim or you're not.
So where does the jihadist fit into that? Because I thought that was a little bit of your definition of a Islamist because of the use of violence.
Okay. The Islamist isn't always a jihadist. An Islamist can be someone who believes in the ideology of spreading Islam by violence, who believes that's the right way, that's how religion should develop, but they don't actually go and fight. You know who these people are? The majority of the imams.
Yeah.
So they're sitting in their mosques, recruiting, sending people to ISIS, but they're not jihadists. The imam is responsible for the jihadist going and joining ISIS. So he's an Islamist, and he would send the Islamist congregation to then become jihadists.
So this is when people talk about the radicalization that's happening in mosques in the West, you believe that to be a real thing.
Of course, it is a real thing, and it's something we battle every single day.
So what, if I was to go into one of these mosques,
Right.
what would I be hearing?
Well, firstly, because of your beard, you'd be welcomed.
I'd be welcome. I'd have to lengthen this a little bit. Okay.
Yes, you'd be welcomed.
Okay.
And a fundamentalist mosque would definitely frown upon you if you had shaved your beard completely. So beard, you'd be welcome. But
So if you don't have a beard, you actually can't even go in.
no,
probably.
you can. They'll just tell you why. What's wrong? Are you a woman?
Yeah.
Are you a Jew? Why? Because the reports say that the Jews that came to fight Muhammad had no beards on. It was a sign of going to war. In Arabia, the sign of going to war would be to shave your head. The Jews in Arabia would shave their beards, so then you can tell who is who in the battle.
Jesus.
So
Jesus.
yeah. So the Muslims kept their beards.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Right. So it's not a criteria. I mean, there are many reformers who don't have beards. It's no big deal. Many
Okay.
Muslims don't.
I grow this out. It's a week from now. I say to you,
Let's go.
Imam, get me to one of these mosques. I
Okay.
want to know what's going on. I walk in with you, let's say.
On a Friday prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just tell me what is actually being spoke of that is the place from where it goes from an Islamist ideology to a fundamentalist ideology. What are people hearing? Basically?
Okay. Well, firstly, it depends on the speaker. It depends on the imam.
Of course.
There are Islamist imams who say in closed circles what they will not say on the pulpit because of the laws in the West. And then there are imams who would go on there and say things nobody could ever imagine would ever be said in the history of Islam on the pulpit. They would just say it. So there are two.
In the West.
In the
Some
West,
of them are
yeah.
doing this in the West. I mean,
In
we
the
see
West.
this out of Canada a lot.
Yeah.
Just these incredibly awful things that people that they're saying.
Memory has a wonderful archive
Yeah.
of all of these issues. YouTube is another great source. And the issue is the mosque records the imam and uploads it on YouTube. So it's nothing being discovered. They know that the world is going to react this way, and they still continue to produce this content. And now they're speaking in English, which makes my job a lot easier because I have to translate sometimes, but now they're just saying it in English.
This is a perfect example of an awesome individual that a lot of the radicals on the pro-Israel side, if you will, who say we have an issue with all Muslims, everything needs to go, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I think radicalism in any space, in any capacity in the world is never a good thing. And it's funny because the ones who will never realize that radicalism exists are the radicals themselves. And so first and foremost, here's an incredible example of an individual who does not share the same religion as me, does not share the same belief as me, is not radical against me, nor the history of my religion, my people, my existence. And Reuben invited someone like himself, to be able to go into a mosque, to be able to be invited, to be able to understand what the hospitality is. How do I know that this is real and this is true? I was in Morocco over a month ago. I did not have the opportunity to go into a mosque. We tried, but it was closed due to high peak hours for tourism. I was welcomed into homes. I was welcomed into villages, into public spaces, into restaurants. I was welcomed everywhere by Muslims. Whether they were radical or not, I wouldn't have even known. Treated me with incredible hospitality, incredible respect. And this is the first step into being able to actually build bridges with people. And for me, being in Morocco, witnessing a lot of the, and I was there during peak holiday season for them, during Eid. So it's like I got to see and witness a lot of what happens within the country when they get together due to their religion, due to Islam, due to tradition, due to what they do. And so I would want the same. Like I would want the same for them to be able to come to synagogues in the diaspora. I'd want the same for them to be able to come and experience what it's like to be at the Western Wall. You think I want tension at Temple Mount, at the Al-Aqsa Mosque? You think I want that tension? You think that's what's actually going to get us to thread this needle here? Absolutely not. And we need more voices like this. And I really appreciate Ruben for being able to platform this imam. So share this if it inspired you too. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next video. If you want to continue the conversation, you can support my work for free. Discord does not cost a thing. It is the best way to connect with me and others who are seeking the truth. The link is in the description. But if you want to take it one step further, my Patreon gives you access to the Israel you don't see, uncovering the untold stories of what mainstream media does not show you. The link is in the description and it helps me to continue this work. Or if you're just looking to help this thing go, PayPal and buy me a coffee is a really easy way to support me. This channel, this work does not happen without all of you. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you next time.